back to the channel of Pro Enzo Vids, and this is my round 20 NRL tips for 2022. So, yeah, a very interesting week ahead. Obviously, not entirely looking forward to Thursday, but we could be okay because it's not an awful team, but it's very depleted for Manly. But we'll get into that game soon. But yeah, no, look, round 20, I think it'll be a good round of footy. I think there's a lot of interesting games coming up. Looking at, some of the fixtures we've got. Eels Panthers on the Friday night, the Battle of the West at Combank Stadium is going to be a really good one in my opinion. Sharks South at PointsBet in Cronulla, that's going to be a blockbuster. That sort of will indicate a lot actually, that game. And on Sunday, you got the Cowboys and the Dragons taking on each other at Jubilee Oval. So, look at the round ahead, not too bad, and I'm looking forward to seeing how all the games pan out during the weekend. But before I do start, make sure to like the video and subscribe to the channel. Currently at 2,160 subscribers, so the aim is to get to 2,200 subscribers by the end of this week, or hopefully by the weekend, because that's the aim for my channel, is to get to that 2,200 mark. So look, if you're enjoying the content and if you enjoy the video, I would hope and recommend that you can subscribe to the channel. That's completely up to you, but more than anything, enjoy the video and enjoy my tips for the weekend. So without further ado, time against the very first game. So going on to the first game, it's Manly taking on the Roosters at 4 Pines Park. There on the Thursday night at 7:50 p.m. So, I mean, look, it's going to be very controversial. Seeing, I guess it's controversial to see how the team will go without all their main stars. It's going to be hard to really win, but, I guess all the press is going to be around us for the rest of the week, only because the players, 7 players stood down because of their beliefs over the gay and the pride thing for the jersey, whatever. But it is what it is, and I hope this team can just at least score a point. But the main thing is that they just all turn up and do a job. So getting on to the Manly team now. So Jason Saab, Tuipulotu, Kola, Alaye, Olakawatu, Sibley and Schuster have all stood down from playing due to their personal beliefs. So Pio Seki and Alfred Smalley, who are 2 Blacktown wingers for our Blacktown Workers Seagulls side, they'll make their club NRL debut actually. So good to see them both get a go. And Kurt DeLewis will play prop, replacing Aloye, and Ethan Bullimore joins the starting side. In the back row, Jake Trbojevic returns, and Lachlan Croker returns as well, and so does Andrew Davey, all from COVID, so that helps in a way. Sean Kepi has been named on the bench despite suffering a shoulder injury against the Dragons, so he's good to go. Joined by James Seguiaro, who's going to play his first NRL game since 2019, which I'm very happy for Chico, because he's obviously worked very hard to get back to this sort of stage, and I hope he kills it for us on Thursday. I really do. I think he's definitely been too long, but he should go well hopefully. And then Martin Tapau and Morgan Boyle sum up the bench for us. As for the Roosters, Joey Manu is back on deck, so Drew Hutchinson slides to the bench, and Maroon's prop, Lindsay Collins, returns from concussion. He suffered in Origin Game 3, which means Matt Lodge goes to the interchange, and Terrell May and Adam McHugh and other 2 men drop off the bench. I'm not going to go for this one for too long. Roosters are going to win. Roosters by probably 26 to 30 points. I'm going to say Roosters win 36 to 16. 36 to 16 is my final score, so by 30. And anytime try scorers, well, I'm going to go a bit bold here. I reckon the young, he's not too young, because he's 28 years old in debut, but Piosecki, the Fiji winger making his debut for Manly, I reckon we'll get a try for us in debut. And I also reckon maybe Andrew Davey will get a try. And as for the Roosters, I think Tedesco, Tupos, Manu, Sawali, a whole lot are going to score, so Roosters to win, unfortunately. On to the next game now. It is the Warriors taking on Storm Mount Smart Stadium. They're in New Zealand, so obviously Storm's first time playing there since 2019, I believe, or 2018, one of those years. But this is the second time the Warriors are playing back in New Zealand for 2022, so should get a good crowd, you'd think. So 6 p.m. early Friday night game, so I'll go for both sides now. So starting with the Warriors. Stacey Jones has opted another spine reshuffle after their loss to the Raiders last week in the comeback. Reece Walsh returns to fullback, and Chanel Harris-Tavia goes to 5'8", and Dave Jonassi drops out to 17, which I'm very surprised about, actually. Jesse Arthur's 5 strains out, so Marcelo Montoya moves from wing to centre, and Edward Kosey returns to the side on the flank on the flank, which is the wing, and prop Jackson Fry's named on the bench for his first game since 2020. As for the Storm, Craig Bellamy has named an unchanged... Actually, no, Jackson Fry made his debut last year. That makes no sense. What? Anyway, onto the Storm. Craig Bellamy has named an unchanged starting 13. Jordan Grant is the new face on the bench in place of Tom Eisenhuth. So, no changes there. But as for my tip for this game, I think the Storm will bounce back and get a win here. If they don't, then I've got some massive concerns over Melbourne. I think Melbourne are in a world of pain and they won't be able to change their season, I think, in my opinion. But this is a game they should win because it's against a bit of an inferior opponent, so they should go okay. But I've got Storm 13 plus. I think this is where they'll come back and Warriors will play them into form. And I'm going to go anytime try scorers. My team's Lesniak and Kosi, and also I'm going to go with Wade Egan from dummy half. And as for the Storm, I'm going to go with Grant Anderson, Justin Olam, Jerome Hughes, and I reckon Felice Kafusi for my anytime try scorers. And on to the main game on the Friday. It is the Eels take on the Panthers at Combank Stadium at 8 o'clock. So, also 50-55 I should say, but the game starts at 8 technically, so it doesn't even matter. But yeah, Battle of the West should be a very interesting game. Obviously, both sides are looking to cement their spot in the finals even more. But the thing is, Parramatta aren't cemented in the finals. You know, a loss to Parramatta could really see them drop out of the 8 very soon, or be at the back end of the 8. So, it's going to be very interesting to see what happens during this game. But I think, Panthers are looking a lot better despite having Luai and Crichton out with injuries. But let's get into the team here. So Eels have Bryce Cartwright making his return from a rib injury on the interchange, with Jacob Arthur, the players make way, although he remains in the reserves. Halfback Mitchell Moses requires just 5 points against the Panthers. Who cares? I don't like Moses anyway. Panthers have Stephen Crichton out because of an ear laceration to his left ear, so he'll be out and has to require plastic surgery. His place in the centres is taken by Robert Jennings. 5'8" Jerome Luai is out with an injury and is out for 8 weeks too. So losing one of your main playmakers is going to be huge at Penrith, but he's replaced by Sean O'Sullivan, who will replace him for the time being. And after being a late withdrawal in round 19, prop Moses Leota is listed among the reserves, while Charlie Staines has been added to the bench in place of the injured Mitch Kenny. My tip for this game, I think Panthers will be a bit too good. They should be. Even though I do expect Parramatta to make a little bit of a response, I just think that the class of Penrith will be a bit too much. And I think I've liked what they've been doing Penrith the last couple of weeks. We know what Penrith are like. They're a very tough and strong side. And I think O'Sullivan being that replacement for Luai for the next 8 weeks will just help them, I think, because O'Sullivan's proven to be a good backup player. But my anytime try scorers, I'm going to go with Sivo for a try, since he pretty much scores every time at Combank. I think Wagga Blake's going to score a try, and I think one of the forwards will score a try. I'm pretty confident that Reid Marnie will get a try from dummy half. I've got a feeling he could. And as for Penrith, I'm going to go with Taylor May for a try, Robert Jennings, Brian Toto, and Kikau for a try as well. On to the next game of Super Saturday, the first one out of 3. It is the Gold Coast Titans take on the Raiders. They're at Cbus Super Stadium in the Gold Coast. The Titans are, they haven't won a game in a long time. They've been struggling. This is the worst I've seen them probably play since 2019, if I'm being honest, and they're definitely going to be in contention for that wooden spoon. And if they lose this game, that furthers their case into maybe getting the spoon. But as for the Raiders, been pretty good, and been winning games, looking strong and solid. And they're making a push for the 8, but it depends if they even get there. But they are looking good, Canberra. But getting on to both sides now. So, looking at Titans, Tino Fa'asuamaleaui moves to prop in order for Aaron Clark to start at lock, following a couple of impressive outings as a middle forward. So he'll start lock Aaron Clark and Tino to the prop. And Isaac Liu is the man to make way, which is interesting. Which also means that Jayden Campbell will once again stay on the bench, and Brian Kelly takes Corey Thompson's spot in the 17, and assuming a centre spot, which means Patrick Herbert moves out to the wing. Kevin Proctor has been released from his commitments with the club due to what happened yesterday on Sunday with the vape situation. He got sacked on Monday. As the Raiders, Ricky Stewart has stuck with the same 17 that got the job done against the Warriors. Two-try hero Corey Harawira-Nairo remains on the bench, and Semi Valame has been included in reserves after missing time of a knee injury. while there's no signs of youngster James Shillier. He's out because of an ankle injury still. Look, an interesting game because I know the Titans need to win soon, and they get to have a chance at playing well back at home in the Gold Coast. But look, I can't see anything more than being a Raiders win. So I'm going to go the Raiders here by 10 points. And my anytime try score is going to be Sasifa Fafita, Patrick Herbert. I think Tino's going to score a try. And as the Raiders, I think Nick Kotrick will get a try. I can see Jack White getting one, and I can also see Hudson Young getting a try. So Raiders by 10 for me. On to the second game of Super Saturday. It is the Sharks take on the Rabbitohs at PointsBet Stadium in Cronulla at 5:30. So, look, I think the Sharks have been really good at home this year, and obviously their form recently has been strong. Sharks are obviously trying to lock in a top 4 place, and they're currently 3rd. So a win against the Rabbitohs this Saturday would be very huge. But, as for South, since Latrell's return and since South found a bit of form at the same time, they've looked really strong and pretty hard to stop. So it will be a very good contest, and I'm looking forward to this one. But getting on to both sides, the Sharks have named an unchanged side after they lost to the Rabbitohs, lost to the Panthers last week. But Dale Finucane's going to get off his charge, apparently, so he'll be likely to play. And Cameron McInnes is the most likely to join the starting side if Finucane is out, though. So it just depends on Finucane's case, I suppose, if he's out for 3 games with his tackle on Crichton last week. And that's Stephen Crichton. As for Rabbitohs, Mark Nichols is out injured, replaced by prop Daniel Saluka Fafita, who starts the prop for Mark Nichols. Tane Milne is listed among the reserves as he looks to return from a finger in this good chance of and is a good chance of returning from a finger injury. I think NRL.com has made a spelling error there. But my tip for this game, it's tough, but because that's Shark Park and because the Sharks are usually pretty hard to beat there, I will go Cronulla to win here by about I'd say maybe 8 points. But won't be much in it. I think it'll be a very tight game, and I give South a chance as well. But I think Sharks just get it in the end. But my anytime try scorer is going to be Connor Tracy on the wing. I think he'll get another one. I think Talakai and Ramian are going to score those 2 centres. And I like Brendan Cora for a try as well. As for Souths, I'm going to go with Latrell Mitchell for a try. Alex Johnson and Isaiah Tass to score as well. So I think this will be a good contest. So they're my anytime try scorers there. Sharks by 8. And on to the last game of Super Saturday is the Broncos taking on the Tigers at Suncorp Stadium at 7:35 p.m. Look, Broncos obviously have had a great season and looking great so far in terms of recent form. At Suncorp Stadium, they've been playing well, and I expect that to sort of roll on to this Saturday's game. Look, Tigers are in a bit of trouble. They should have been Cowboys last week. They were definitely dudded and robbed in that one, but not much you can do now. And I feel like if Tigers do turn up with the same sort of form and mindset they had against Cowboys, and they could give Broncos a run for their money. I really think they could, and that's my opinion only. But look, looking at both sides, Broncos have Solon Cobbo coming back. I know they're still sidelined, so Cobbo's still out, but Billy Walters' hip is back on deck at hooker. So Jake Turbo goes to reserves. D. Louise Hoyter replaces Jordan Pereira on the wing due to illness, while Dean Mariner makes his NRL debut at centre, which means Brenko Lee goes to the reserves, and T. Mario Martin has been named the 18th man as he needs a return from a rib injury. As for the Tigers, Alex Sayafaf comes into the back row for Luke Garner, and that is the only change to the Tigers this weekend. Dustin Diaz comes on the bench. My tip for this game, look, Broncos to win by about 16 points, so 13 plus basically. And my anytime try scorers are going to be Corey Oates, Stags, and on debut, Dean Mariner will get a try. And I reckon maybe from dummy half, Billy Walters might get one in his return. And for the Tigers, I'm going to go with Brent Nade, Starfield Toa, and Mamalo as my locks for the tries. On to the first game of Sunday. It is Knights take on the Bulldogs at McDonald Jones Stadium at 2 p.m. So a game where, it's interesting because last time, obviously, they both played. The Knights had a decent win over them at Magic Round, but since the Dogs are playing a bit more better footy and are in better form, I give them a chance against the Knights, and I think they're going to definitely look like a lot better side compared to what they were in round 10 when they played Magic Round, that's for sure. But Getting on to the Knights team, Callum Ponga will miss the game after suffering another concussion and is out for the rest of the year, so that's a big blow for Newcastle. Lachlan Fitzgibbon shoulder is also out, so Tex Hoy is a new man at fullback replacing Ponga, and Brady Jones joins the pack, and Matt Croker is the new man on the bench. Kurt Mann, leg, and Dominic Young, back and ribs are listed along the reserves as for a return, but just in reserves for now. As for the Bulldogs, Jake Avrillo COVID protocols returns at fullback. So Declan Casey goes to reserves, and Corey Riddell has been named ahead of his trip to the judiciary on Tuesday night with a dangerous contact charge on Titans captain Tino Fa'asuamaleaui for an eye gouge, basically. Back rower Raymond Vatala-Marin is out with a rib cartilage injury, so Josh Jackson goes to lock, and Jackson Toppany comes into the side in the second row. Yeah, interesting game to call because I think Newcastle usually play well at home and their fans turn up, but the way the Dogs are playing, it's hard to really ignore that. So I'm going to go the Bulldogs here by about 12 points. I think they'll get the win here and go on a 2-game winning streak. My anytime try scorers are going to be Edric Lee and Hymel Hunt, and probably Mitch Barnett in the back row. And as for the Bulldogs, I'm going to go with Jake Avrillo, Josh Adokar, and Matt Burton. And on to the last game of Sunday, it is the Dragons take on the Cowboys at Stride Jubilee Stadium. So, again, a game where the Dragons obviously play pretty well at home and need to keep winning if they want to make the top 8 this year. But as for the Cowboys, are in a lot better form and obviously have been lucky the past... Or no, not lucky, but they're lucky last week, but the past 2 weeks haven't been amazing. But they definitely will want to try and get back to the best they've been recently, though, in this game. But... Getting through both sides, looking at the Dragons, Cody Ramsey set to miss 2 games with a knee injury, so versatile player. Mo Zemba takes the fullback jersey, Jack Burr goes to centre, Tarek Sims just comes into the starting side of lock, and Aaron Woods joins the bench. With James Sullivan sidelined by a shoulder injury, Tyrell Sloan gets a recall on the bench for his first game since round 10. And as for the Cowboys, Todd Payne is named the same 17 that snuck past the West Tigers. Ruben Cotter's rehabilitation from the hamstring injury he suffered during the warm-up against Manly. He has a good chance to join the 17 on Sunday, so he's on standby. But my tip for this game, I think Cowboys are going to win. They should be a bit too good. Cowboys probably by 14 points, or 14 points to go with. They'll just sneak past the 13-plus mark. And, my anytime try scorers are going to be Feagai and Lomax. And, Feagai and Lomax, I'm pretty confident they'll score. And I think for the Cowboys, I'm going to go with Val Holmes, Hiku, and in the back row, I reckon Jeremiah Nanai's going to score one because he scores pretty much every week. But everyone, that's my round 20 tips of the NRL. Thanks for watching the video. Make sure to like the video, subscribe to the channel, and comment your tips in the comment section down below. But until then, see you in the next one.